Hi friends, today we are solving unique paths 2. So this is the medium level complexity question from the lead code. So in this, one robot is given which is initially is at 0th location of the matrix, and it want to reach the finish lines, means the bottommost rightmost cell. So over there it want to reach. If so, there is a constraint that it can move right side or downside. So if it is able to reach to the finish, then we'll say like uh, we'll count that path as a 1. So again, another constraint they have given in it is, so there will be given matrix, and it our robot will start from 0, and if it comes, if some, if in some path 1 comes, then it will not get counted, it will just stop over there. So you can see the example 0 0 0 0 1 0 0 0 0. There is only one obstacle in the middle of 3 into 3 grid, means this is the obstacle which is given as a 1. So if 1 is present in some path, by that path uh, you will be not able to reach, the robot will be not able to reach the finish line. So in this example, you can go right right down down, right right down down, it will reach the, or down down right right. You got my point, right? So in this two way you can reach to the destination. If obstacle comes, then we'll not able to reach the destination. So how can you solve it? You can solve it recursively, and you can solve even with the dynamic programming with the recursion. So if you solve with the recursion, then what you will do is you will have function calling this start robot right side or downside recursively again and again for the all possible combination. If the robot is able to reach to the end index, so if its robot started to the 0 0 location and it was able to reach the end index, which is m will be is equal to obstacle grid dot length minus 1, and n is equal to, we can have two values which will represent the end index, the finish line. So those we can assign with the length of this grid, the number of rows and number of columns, minus 1 minus 1, because since it is a 0 index. So if m becomes equals to obstacle grid is multidimensional array, you can see two-dimensional array. So if the length of this, which is 3, means number of 3 rows and the 3 columns, if it is able to reach 2 by 2, means since it is a 0 index, 2 by 2, we'll say that it was able to reach the destination, and we will count it as a 1. Okay, so how to solve it? Let's solve it. So what we can do is we can create another function with recursion. We are just naming it int m, int n. Okay, so initially this m and n is equal to 0, so we'll give 0 0 to this two values m and n. If m is equal to obstacle grid dot length minus 1, means equal to the second row, and the obstacle grid 0 dot length n is equal to obstacle grid 0 dot length, then it will be like 0th column and 0th this column and this row. So this location we can represent with this column and this row. So if it is able to reach over here, we can just check, since m and n will be able to find out, we can check with the length. Okay, so what are the base conditions? So if m sometimes become greater than obstacle grid dot length, or n becomes greater than obstacle grid dot length. So in this case, you will not able to reach the destination. Suppose the robot started going downside, 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 and again, and it went over here. So you will not able to reach. Again, the robot started like that, and it reached over here. So you will not able to reach. So will return 0 over here. Another condition is if it encounters, if the robot encounters 1, even if in the finish line, then also it will not be able to reach the destination by any means if the 1 is placed in finish location or somewhere other, like if it is placed in finish location, then robot cannot reach to the destination. If suppose it is somewhere in between, then it can reach with the other ways. So will not count the way in which 1 is encountered, which is a blockage, right? So we'll put another condition in the OR condition. So if obstacle grid of m and n equal 1, then also return 0. So in this case will return 0. So now the base condition is done. So what we will do is we'll return the sum of path going downside or going right side, right? So we'll return, yeah, when we will be we will say that the robot was able to reach the destination, it will check this condition. If m equals obstacle grid dot length -1. Why -1? Because it is 0 index array, that's why. And n equals to obstacle grid, so we need to give this as a 0th, since matrix is not like n into n, it's m into n. So this is second condition. If m is equal to obstacle grid dot length minus number of rows, the second row, in this case it will be 0 1 2. So m is equal to 2 and n is equal to 0 1 2 3 4 5 6. So n is equal to 6, then it will return 1. So this path will be counted as a 1. If any in any condition the robot reached to the finish line, so that path will be counted as a 1. So we'll return all the paths which is going right side or downside. So obstacle grid m and n. So what we'll do is m plus 1 if it is going right side, m plus 1, and n plus 1 if it is going downside. Okay, plus if it is going downside, right? Sorry, this is m plus 1 and n means it is going downside, and if m n plus 1 means the robot was going right side. I said in the reverse order. Okay, so this in this way we created a function which will count all the possible number of ways with the help of recursion. So return obstacle grid, this is an input array, 0 0. Okay, so we called the function with the 0 0. If 0 0 becomes 2 and 6 over here, 2 6 means representing this, then we reach to the destination, and that path will be counted as a 1, and all the possible combinations of robot which is going downside or right side will be counted. So let's submit it, let's run it. Just a minute. This is array. It's correct only, right? If m is greater than obstacle grid dot length, what it is saying, if m is greater than obstacle grid length and so length m, and just a minute, okay, obstacle grid dot length, oh yo, that's the reason. Control Z. Okay, let's run it. It is saying array out of bound index 3 is out of bound for length equal to 3. So even we forgot to do like that, -1 over here also. Let's run it. There can be multiple errors because of me, so it is getting accepted. Let's submit it. It will not get accepted because of TLE conditions. Normally LeetCode is having the checks so that you can improve the execution speed. Let's see, like from the 43 test cases, 27 test cases got passed and rest of them failed because of time limit exceeded problem. So what we can do is we can create an array and we can store all the possible this type of calculation in it with the index m plus n and n and m n plus 1. So if we store like that, if this, suppose I have created an array, we'll create a multi-dimensional array. Let's name it as a memory. Okay, so equal to new int obstacle grid dot length plus 1 dot length plus 1 obstacle grid zero dot length plus 1. So again we have created an array, multi-dimensional array, so that we can store result. If you just compute the recurrence tree for it, you will able to find out that most of the calculation are getting repeated again and again. So in order to avoid that, we are storing the result. Whenever this part is calculated, it will get stored, and in the successive recursive calls to the same thing, it will return the value in the value which is stored in the array. If first time, what we will do is we'll assign all the calls. So this array will represent, this memory will represent the value of all the calls. Like over here, the function was called with the m plus 1 and n. So it will represent when the function was called for m plus 1 and n, what value it got. So if in the next successive run, if the same thing happens, like we required to calculate the same thing, at that time it will not recalculate the thing, it will provide the result. So we'll able to execute the code in the faster way and efficiently, since it will not call that function again. So let's see, I have created memory. I will assign -1 to it, 0 less than dot length I plus plus for int j equals 0, j less than memory of 0 dot length j plus plus memory of ij equals -1. So initially we assigned with the -1. So what we will do, we'll store this results in this array. So if we'll provide like this, if memory of m plus 1 and n is equals to -1, then only it will calculate. Again in the recursion, when the same thing arrives, then it will have this will have value, so that it will not require to recalculate the things. So will be equal to will be equal to this part. Okay, similarly we can do for this part also. So if this array is not having the value for m n plus 1, then it will recalculate the things m n plus 1, it will calculate this. If it is not -1, it will use the earlier already calculated value. So okay, so this is our call. Okay, so now what we can do is, -1 only. Now we will be returning, earlier we were returning the function calls, but if this memory is having value, it means that that function was calculated earlier, so that we don't need to recalculate it. Or if it was not calculated, at that time it will be -1 and it will get calculated and it will store in that memory location. So what we will do is, we will now return the sum of these two conditions. So we need to pass this as an array also in memory. We didn't pass to the function, and again over here also here also. Okay, let's check whether it is getting executed or not. Yes, it is getting executed. Let's submit it. The solution is 100% times faster than others. The solution is great, and you can use the dynamic programming to avoid those unnecessary computation of the same function. So I'll just recommend you to go through the dynamic programming questions and do practice for it, so that you will be like, it will be easy for you to guess how to apply it in the most of the questions. Thank you for listening. Have a nice day.